Ladies and gentlemen, hello from the MLG studios here in New York City. You're watching the Winter Season Showdowns, a best of 5 between Sase and Snute, the first match of the European set of matches to determine which people are going to the Winter Championships in Dallas, Texas on March 15th. We already have an amazing lineup of Kestra players that have already qualified, and today we're seeing Snute versus Sase. Currently, Sase is up 1-0. Snute has some work to do, but I think he's a guy that can do it. Before we get into game number 2, though, quick little plug. Of course, Dr. Pepper and MLG are providing an awesome opportunity for you guys out there looking to set yourselves up with an awesome gaming house. The Dr. Pepper Ultimate Gaming House. How do I sign up, you might be asking. Facebook.com/MLG Pro. Scroll on down here, click on Dr. Pepper Ultimate Gaming House. And here are the details and contest instructions. You can get a complete makeover of your gaming room with the latest in competitive gaming equipment, technology, and great Dr. Pepper product and prizes. The MLG team will completely make over your room to reflect the Dr. Pepper Ultimate Gaming House. Gotta send a video, no more than 5 minutes in length. Introduce yourself, your friend, or your group. Tell us why you or they deserve the Ultimate Gaming House, and show the room you want to see transformed. And tell us how you are a one-of-a-kind fan of Dr. Pepper and MLG. It ends on February 15th, which isn't too far away, so make sure you get those submissions in. Great opportunity there for any gamers, for any groups of gamers. I think CSL teams can definitely benefit from this by a huge amount. And of course, in your video, if you say that you're part of a CSL team, I'm pretty sure you'll get a nice little step up, because I think that's an awesome initiative. And if I was voting the thing, or if I was judging, I might put a little bit more weight towards that. So good luck, guys. Make sure you sign up soon. That being said, shall we get into game 2?
Let's do it. So right now, Sase's up 1-0. A beautifully crafted build in game 1. And the Sase's trademark is unique builds. And if it's not unique, it's going to be... The execution is just like... His unit control, that last game, the Zealot movement, perfect. Like, he was actually controlling individual groups of 3 Zealots at a time while constantly warping in, while controlling his, like, he didn't just control group move, he actually, his army works synchronomously with, with
That's
each other.
an awesome word. If that's not a word, I'm writing to Webster tomorrow, and it's going to happen.
Synchronomously.
Yes.
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 It was beautiful. Watching Sase play is just a real treat.
Yeah, I've said he has been one of my favorite players to watch. Such innovative strategies and creative strategies. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he sat in Heart of the Swarm, the unit tester, and just started thinking about, all right, what opportunities are available to me regarding Heart of the Swarm, regarding potential 2-base timing pushes, regarding some crafty, clever stuff I can do. So I'm sure this is just a start from, of course, he is the Protoss player, the bottom left, the red Protoss, and got to talk about Snute a little bit, though. This is a guy who, obviously very good, very nice results in Wings Liberty, now on Team Liquid. He probably himself has been practicing a lot of Heart of the Swarm. Definitely wants that trip to Dallas, Texas to compete in the Winter Championship. So don't count him out by any means. Very good STARCRAFT 2 player. I would not be surprised to see him even this up in this series. Honestly, I feel like these players are very evenly matched, and it could go either direction. So we'll have to see what these guys decide to produce for us in game number 2 on Newkirk City.
We could. You know, the one thing, so far we haven't seen any Zerg players qualify for Dallas yet, except for the ones who already qualified, Leenock and Life.
Yes.
And I think a lot of what we've seen happen to Zerg players is their new, cool, fun toys for Heart of the Swarm are all Lair Tech or beyond.
Yeah.
I mean, they can get Burrow at Tier 1, do some funny stuff there, but for the most part, their new stuff's the Lair Tech. And we've seen it both versus the Terrans and the Protoss that Zerg struggle against the early game. Yeah, Terrans have Hellbats, Widowmines, Reapers. Terrans have all the toys at all stages of the game. Protoss have got these Stargate units that are so powerful. And even if they're doing the Stargate units, we saw the Mothership Core made that 8-gate so much stronger with the Time Warp ability. The Mothership Core makes the 2-base Immortal push much stronger. Like, anything you do is stronger with that Mothership Core.
The Dark Shrine as well.
Oh, yes.
Is definitely going to be an essential part of a lot of Protoss players' play nowadays, considering it does cost significantly less to get out. Now, let's talk about this game a little bit. We're seeing Sase open up with a gateway opening here. some people might be surprised, oh, why isn't it the standard Forge, Fast Expand, or Nexus first? Well, Sase's known to do stuff like this just to throw his opponent off a little bit. Now, Snute was able to scout the initial gateway, so immediately going to put down that gas back in his main base, going up to speed. Something you kind of have to do when you're seeing that one base play from your opponent, because you never know when they're going to 4-gate you or do something scary like that.
Definitely. We've seen, or at least I've seen MC take out several Zergs with a 3-gate Stalker push off one base. And if you don't have speed leans against a Protoss with as good micro as Sase here, he will destroy with those Stalkers. That's a definite possibility. You've got to get those speed leans that early in order to deal with these type of one-base threats coming out. Sase, though, not going to go up to 3 gates, getting that Nexus, getting that Forge. So he's going to proceed into like a game that'll actually look similar to how it would have looked if he went Forge expansion.
Yeah.
But a little bit less economy, but with a faster warp gate, a faster mothership core.
Just a little bit of light zealot pressure there to keep his opponent on his toes, maybe force out a few lings, and maybe you know, prevent some mining time here and there. Meanwhile, it looks like Snute, he's getting a Roach Warren here.
Very early Roach Warren. Even versus one base build, if you have the speed leans, you're usually content to use those to deal with early units because that's you invested 200 resources into that speed, so you might as well make use of it.
Only costs minerals. You don't have to mine any extra gas to get those links.
Investing another well, not only investing, he's still mining gas like you mentioned. That's a huge investment just keeping mining gas, and then 200 minerals to get the Roach Warren. That's another huge investment, and now 7 roaches. He's really powering his early game units. He's out to kill Sase right off the bat, saying, you know what? If you're not going to open with any cannons, I'm going to try and knock you out with some roaches and speedlings.
Definitely wants to get some damage done. Again, he hasn't scouted the fact that his opponent does already have his wall off up. Sase trying to set up here 2 gateways. We've got a Forge, but as you said before, he doesn't have cannons here, so he's going to have to rely on optimal force fields, optimal sentry control. Now, Sase did just scout the lack of a third from his opponent.
He's got the mothership core, seeing all the units rallying out, 16 more speedings in production. And that mothership core is going to see it all coming.
Oh, the Lings are going to try to get a little bit of a flank here on these Protoss units, and Sase is going to be like, all right, what's going on? Going to be backing up a little bit. And yeah, he should definitely know what's happening at this point, seeing those Lings spew on by. And now he just has to set up, get some nice force fields down, but let's see if Snute tries to break this here.
I mean, it's tough. I feel like he has to. He's committed so much to this. But we look at those sentries. There's 5 sentries on a 3 force field wide ramp.
Yeah.
He's got like 14 force fields at his disposal. Ooh, missing trap. He could have trapped a lot more Zerglings there. They snuck by the right side of that force field, so they're going to escape to live another day. But, you know, even though he didn't get those kills he wanted, I think he's still really happy just staying alive against an opponent who committed this much to early game aggression.
Yeah, Snute spending a lot of that larva, a lot of the resources on those Lings and Roaches, and they're not necessarily paying for themselves. Sure, they're keeping Sase at home a little bit longer, but again, you're delaying other stuff. You're delaying that drone count. You're delaying your tech a little bit, so we'll have to see if Sase can take advantage of this. He has a timing where he could potentially do some damage, and it looks like he realizes that timing. Going to be pushing across the map here with plenty of sentries, zealots, and stalkers. And
this is going to
be what does Snute have? He has a lot of Lings and Roaches, but is that going to be enough to deal with all these force fields?
They're slow Roaches. The creep's not very far out. Oh, that's a lot of force fields coming out from Sase. Does he have a pylon reinforcement point? He's got a probe with him.
He's got a probe at the top, too, so he could potentially set up some flanking pylons.
That's a really... I love that. Sneaky probe. Distract him at the bottom and sneak across the top here. He's going into the hatchery. Snute's trying to rally in units.
Good force field so far here from Sase, trying to keep his opponent away. There's even a hallucinated Immortal in the back of this to help scare Snute even more. And I don't think there's a chance this hatchery survives.
No, he's going to kill, but he's running low on force fields. Snute's army is set up cutting him up. Wait.
He's gone. Bye.
Gone? Oh.
There's a new ability in Heart of the Storm, Mr. Axlav.
You don't say.
It's called Recall, and it's on the Mothership core. Brings you right back to your Nexus, and you don't have to walk all the way back across the map.
And
so nice
that was
little
instrumental
play there.
because he was right out of force fields. Snute's army literally had like a 270-degree surround on him.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting to see the Protoss army get just like torn to pieces, and then saying, yeah, you kill the hatchery, but if you lose your whole army, it's not quite worth it. But beautiful use of recall ability, get away with those little timings. And he's got +2 weapons done.
Yeah.
Blink done. He installs his full army.
He's got a lot of gateways worth of
reinforcements. And he's fighting a Zerg opponent with 0 upgrades and just Roaches and Zerglings. So equal economy, but better upgrades for the Protoss. Way better attack.
Yeah.
With Blink Stalkers versus no Lair Tech units. This is going to be really tough for Snute. I mean, he's
now. We do have an infestation pit about halfway complete, so if he can somehow get some infestors on the field, I don't know if
infestors are great against this competition.
Sase's already pushing across.
Yeah, and he's, I mean, it's equal food. Let's check out the army sizes here. Oh, Jesus. It's like 70% more for the Protoss there. That is just, wow.
Well,
Sase's build is so well constructed.
Let's see if Snute can make this happen. Of course, Sase playing this pretty much perfectly at this point. Snute going to try to set up a concave here. Has a great amount of creep spread. Fantastic
nice
creep
split there.
Here from Snute. He's going to split up his units coming in from the left and from the right, trying to engage with these Zerglings. Going to back away, though. Too many force fields, but that's okay in a sense. You're forcing those sentries to use all those force fields. You did lose your third base, but you still have to get a lot of damage done to this army, and Sase is not done pushing. Continuing to surge forward here, reinforcing with those gateways with plenty of stalkers that are now extending across the map.
Snute just timed infestors perfectly to finish 2 seconds after Pathogen Gland finishes.
Nice.
While he's facing this army at his doorstep.
It's still possible, though. Losing some roaches for free down here.
But that was really impressive. I mean, most Zergs are like 20 seconds off in that Pathogen Gland infestor finishing timing, while there's nothing going on. Like, world-class Zergs consistently build infestors 20 seconds too late, and Snute's doing it perfectly, well under intense pressure. That could be what helps him hold, but...
Gotta be careful with those offensive blinks, because you can use up the cooldown. But there goes the time warp here from Sase. He wants to go. Fungals are now in effect, placing the fungal down onto this Protoss army, trying to get that damage done, but I think Sase might have too much. He's up 124 to 94 in supply. Snute desperately trying to hold on, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Sase is going to take game number 2. Sase is going up 2-0 in this best of 5, which means he's going to be 1 win away from advancing to the championship event in Dallas, Texas on March 15th. Just a great play overall there from Sase, able to execute that build perfectly. You know, it started with that. Honestly, it started with the making of the Zerglings and the Roaches.
It did. I mean, I think Sase's build was really. He was going to do it regardless of whether it happened or not. And the idea was he gets across the map, forces the third to die, forces out Zerg to make Roaches and Zerglings that delays their infestor tech, and then he recalls out, and now he's got the Blink Stalkers, the +2, a very efficient anti-road Zergling army.
Yeah.
The two ways to beat that are either with mass numbers of Speed Roaches and Zerglings, you can get off if you have an economic advantage, or with tech. But because he threatened the early push, there was no tech. And because he killed the third, there was no economic advantage. Snute was just in a lose-lose situation. And like you said, it came from, if he didn't make all his units early, he would have had way more units and could have saved his third. But as it is, man, beautiful, beautiful build by Sase.
I feel like it's going to be really tough in Heart of the Swarm for Zerg players, because you have to kind of have to guess, all right, this timing push that's coming towards me, how much do I actually have to prepare for it? How many units do I actually have to make? How much am I willing to invest into this? Because at any moment, the Protoss player can theoretically just recall out, and all of a sudden you have a bunch of units there that aren't necessarily, they're not doing anything, except what they are doing, they're cutting into your advancement of tech, they're cutting into your larva, they're cutting into your drone count, and then all of a sudden you're in a situation at the 9, 8, 7 minute mark of the game where you have much less than you intended. And then a Protoss can formulate some sort of follow-up push, like Sase did there, to abuse the fact that you have much less than you should. And that's exactly what Sase did there to convert to victory.
It did. Oh, it's just... I mean, like you said, it all came from the start. Snute dug himself in a huge disadvantage by sacking all that economy to do a very... Not all in, but he had to get damage down there. And he couldn't even kill a single unit with that opening. So it's just, I mean...
All right.
That was it.
Sase taking an early 2-0 lead here in this Heart of the Swarm. Best of 5 to determine who gets that spot at the MLG Winter Championships. Coming up next, it's going to be Game 3. Snute needs to start making a comeback. We'll have to see if he can make it happen.